Here's more wrestling news for September 19th, 2021. And your headlines for this afternoon include: CM Punk sneaks into Riot Fest after getting banned. My apologies to Mr. Punk. Former WWE Raw GM apologizes to CM Punk after previous criticism. Title match set for next week's WWE Smackdown. Several new matches and segments announced for WWE Monday Night Raw. Story behind Big E's gear on WWE Smackdown. Gable Steveson on why he signed with WWE. Magazine confuses Paige for Diamond Dallas Page in most hilarious way possible. Paige reacts. Madusa set to tackle misogynistic world of pro wrestling. Noelle Foley shares her struggles with concussions over the last 2 years, and more. We're starting this news with CM Punk, who has quickly become one of AEW's most beloved stars, but not everyone is always pleased to see the former WWE champion. Punk has a long history with the Riot Fest, and him being banned has been a long-running joke of the popular Chicago Music Festival. Each year, Punk finds a way to sneak in, and this year was no different, as he was spotted during Living Colour's set during Riot Fest. It makes sense that Punk would see Living Colour as they do his Cult of Personality theme song, and they shared the screen at WrestleMania 29, playing Punk to the ring before his match with The Undertaker. Judging by the photos, everyone had a great time, and security weren't really after the AEW wrestler, and even if they were on the hunt for him, we'd sure he'd find a way in. Next week, Punk will compete against Powerhouse Hobbs on the Grand Slam Rampage in what'll be his first match on TV in over 7 years, and the best in the world will head into this match after having a great time at Riot Fest. Punk's debut for AEW was a huge moment for the company, perhaps its biggest debut ever, but it's also come with its share of detractors. During an episode of his 83 Weeks podcast, Eric Bischoff was livid at Punk, saying the former WWE champion had lost all credibility when he said that the debuts of Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson were bigger than the NWO. In a more recent episode, though, Conrad Thompson, Bischoff's co-host, pointed out that Eric had misread the quote and said that Punk was referring to the impact Kevin Nash and Scott Hall had made when they joined WCW and compared that to Cole and Danielson. Apologizing, Bischoff said he overreacted and was wrong, and appreciated Conrad pointing out the context of what Punk had actually said. For clarity, Punk never said that Cole and Danielson were bigger than the New World Order, but said that their debuts for AEW were a bigger deal than when Nash and Hall jumped to WCW as the outsiders. At the time Punk had said that, he added that people would be pissed off about it, and although that certainly happened with Bischoff, the WCW veteran was man enough to admit when he was wrong. Smackdown news now is next Friday's show will be the go-home show before Extreme Rules, and will feature a huge title match. It's been confirmed that Intercontinental Champion King Shinsuke Nakamura will put his title on the line against Apollo Crews in what'll be the former champ's rematch. Next week's SmackDown will also see Liv Morgan face Zelina Vega in Morgan's warm-up match before facing Carmella at Extreme Rules. As for Crews, he lost the Intercontinental title to Nakamura on August 13th, and after a month, the Nigerian-American superstar has the chance to become a 2-time Intercontinental Champion. Raw next, as tomorrow's show will see a huge 6-man tag pitting The New Day against SmackDown's Bloodline, but that's not the only huge match on the card. It's been announced that WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Natalya and Tamina will defend their titles against Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley after the champs have lost to the challengers in both tag and singles action in recent weeks. Jeff Hardy will also take on Sheamus tomorrow night, with the stipulation being that if Jeff wins, he'll be added to the US title match at Extreme Rules, which is currently between Damian Priest and Sheamus. Raw will also see Women's Champion Charlotte Flair appear on Alexa's Playground to further build to their title match next Sunday, as WWE is booking a stacked final Raw before Extreme Rules 2021. More from SmackDown, as WWE Champion Big E made a surprising appearance last Friday, and his newly captured championship wasn't the only awesome part of his wardrobe. On social media, designer Jonathan Davenport said how pleased he was with the Fugees-inspired gear Big E wore for the show, and thanked the entire New Day for their trust and support in wearing his creation. Davenport also shared some original sketches of the gear, showing just how much the attire based on the Haitian-American early 90s group means to him. Big E has always had some colorful attires, and that won't change now that he's WWE Champion, and we'll be keeping our eyes peeled to see what the champ is rocking when he reunites with the New Day on tomorrow night's Raw. Earlier this week, WWE signed Gable Steveson to a lucrative deal, one that'll allow him to keep defending the NCAA championship while training to be a WWE superstar. As an NCAA champion and an alum of the University of Minnesota, Steveson has already been compared to Brock Lesnar, and we have the Beast incarnate to thank for Steveson's signing. Speaking to Ariel Helwani, the Olympic gold medalist explained how Lesnar was a huge influence on his decision, stating, "Brock was a good part of the decision because the Brock Lesnar path, like we talked about, he started with WWE and then went to the NFL and made it to the final stages of being on the team, then he went to UFC. So I mean, the Brock Lesnar route is helpful for me, and I want to pave my own way and have my own destiny. He was a big help in this, and it was cool that he gave me some guidance." It's been reported that WWE is already working on a Lesnar-Steveson match, but that's been refuted by sources in the company. Whatever the case, Lesnar is a big reason for Steveson signing with WWE over UFC and the NFL, and perhaps he and the Beast will share the ring down the line. Now, Paige is a veteran of WWE and is a former Divas champion and the inaugural NXT Women's champion, but one thing she is not is a 65-year-old man. Despite this, the magazine Metal Sucks incorrectly labeled Paige as Diamond Dallas Page in a recent article where they did a feature on Paige's boyfriend, Ronnie Radke. The article notes that the Falling in Reverse singer has been dating DDP since 2019, when it's actually Paige he's been seeing. On social media, the former superstar saw the funny side, saying she's going to need to speak to the manager about this article. Just to make sure everyone is aware, Paige is not the same person as Diamond Dallas Page, and if she does make a wrestling comeback in January as a recent tweet teased, fans shouldn't expect the British superstar to be hitting any diamond cutters in the ring. With Vice's Dark Side of the Ring episode about the plane ride from hell airing this week, a lot has been said about the wrestling industry's treatment of women, and now Alundra Blaze is ready to tell all. This week, a new autobiography was announced all about Blaze, who will work with longtime wrestling book publishers ECW Press. Although the book will be autobiographical, it'll contain stories about the misogynistic world of professional wrestling, according to a statement by the publishers. Blaze has never hidden her thoughts about the wrestling industry, infamously calling WWE's Women's Revolution, quote, and readers will be able to find out all about her life in the industry when Blaze's book releases in 2023. And we're finishing up today with Noelle Foley, the daughter of Mick Foley, who's been training to become a professional wrestler, but a series of concussions have derailed her plans. Over the past few years, concussions have plagued Mrs. Foley's granddaughter, with one concussion happening after riding a roller coaster. This week, Noelle took to Instagram to share some photos and document her extremely difficult 2 years since suffering her first concussion. In her post, Noelle spoke about how she's been hurting both physically and mentally in the past couple of years in a post on National Concussion Awareness Day in the US. Concussions are a very serious matter, which the wrestling world now thankfully treats more seriously than how they acted years ago. With that said, there's still a lot we don't know about concussions, and we can only hope Noelle eventually makes a full recovery and continues her dreams of becoming a professional wrestler.
Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.